I met a girl a few months ago, and she also writes for a Dutch newspaper. And she was saying that she specifically wants to write about Black people and Black issues and Black people celebrating or whatever. She specifically Is that something that, so you feel like, no, you want to write about everything, or do you also feel, even though you feel responsible about changing certain narratives?
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Because if you don't do it, they will either not do it or do it for you.
They will do it for you, yeah. And
not with you, but about you. And we know how dangerous and how, problematic that can be or is, basically. But also you don't want to be pegged in this box of, but you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's a kind of balancing between who am I as a person that loves pop culture, loves music, loves musical theatre, loves all of these things outside of my ethnicity or religious beliefs, but also fighting and advocating for authentic voices.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk about hijab for once. I would like to, but then also realizing that if I speak on hijab, then people will think I am the be-all end-all.
Yeah.
Which is, I am not the Moroccan woman.
Yeah.
I am a bicultural woman.
Yeah, we have to normalize those things.
Exactly.
But then again, we are probably, or maybe, how can I say, in this time, everything we do, we're still often one of the first.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to say that we don't want to be that person, because eventually if you're leading in something, you're going to be that person, right? But it's also really good, like you said, to show other sides and sometimes even reject things.
And we need to take people with us.
Yeah.
And that's also a form of emotional labor, kind of realizing our ancestors and our peers and going, I don't want to be the first, and I can be the first because a lot of people were tired.
Yeah.
A lot of people were fired.
I can relate. Yeah.
A lot of people were, being played out. And now with the power of social media, we can raise and lift up each other's voices and our own.
Yeah.
If I now put an email online of someone from a program that has sent me the most ridiculous request.
Do you reject it?
But the question is, do I expose this? Do I risk my job?
Ooh, yeah.
Or do I trust that people will read this and go, we will stand with you?
Okay, so this is a really good one with the exposing part. I always have
it's kind of
because recently I experienced something, and I'm not going to obviously
name.
Yeah, I'm not going to name it or expose him now. But I was in a magazine, and I thought it was a really beautiful page. But a few minutes later, once they released it, I got an email saying, we love this page that we created from you, but we didn't want to portray you as a activist or a Black Panther person. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Where does this come from? Because for me, when I looked at the page, it was a beautiful page.
Yeah.
I did not see Black Panther. I did not see an activist or whatever. So the person that created that page saw that because of how she looks at a Black woman.
Yeah.
When I wear certain things, I'm being perceived as ghetto.
If you wear a black beret, if you wear braids.
Because that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Automatically, just like that's it. Yeah.
That's it. So I had to literally take a moment when I read that email, because I know her intentions were right. Her intentions were right, but she subconsciously exposed herself and her thoughts.
With her projection.
Yes. So for me, it was like, okay, what do I do now? I had to think for a minute. I felt so many emotions going through.
Do you educate? Do you let it go? Do you want to engage? Do you want to save yourself that emotional labor?
Yeah.
And it's being done to you. It's being pressed on you.
Yeah.
You are living your life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have this choice. Because if you don't do it, will she do it to another person?
Exactly.
It's all of these choices that you have to make.
That's what I'm saying. Like with what we do, we will always be like either one of the first people to experience these things, or we have to solve it for the others. So what I did is I called her up. Yeah. I actually Googled her. And I called her up and we had a really good and honest conversation. And I also told her that she wasn't aware of her email. She actually thought that her email was good. And
she was like, I saved you.
I saved you.
Yeah.
And I told her how her email was received, how I received her email. And I also asked her, how many colored people do you have at the office? Because if I was your colleague as a Black girl and you would ask me, should I send this email to another Black girl, I would have stopped you right there. But her colleague encouraged her to send that email.
Yeah.
So at the end of the conversation, she was like, wow, okay. Now she was really like, okay, I actually messed up. I'm so sorry. We even had coffee. It's a lovely woman. We had a lovely conversation. And we were also talking about, okay, so how can we solve this issue? Mm-hmm. Because if this is done to me, this has probably happened
a lot of other women.
A lot, yeah. And like we work in media, you work for TV, all these things. These are things that are happening
constantly, every day.
You know, so I think it is tiring. Mm-hmm. I am a bit tired, but that's also one of the reasons why I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to create my own platforms. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to face those issues, but at least
you have control over what happens. Yeah.